Okay, I'll call the meeting to order and welcome everybody, and we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. Start with you, Paula.
Paula Jaconetty, Clerk and Recorder.
Sam Carlson, Commissioner.
Joe Dellwo, Commissioner.
Melody Martinson, Shoto Acantha.
Dick is absent because of...
Yeah, Dick went to an MDT meeting in Shelby today at my request, so
Yeah.
he's not playing hooky. Okay, we have minutes from July 21st and August 4th.
Should be three.
And August 4th, regular meeting. One was a union meeting and one was the regular meeting. So we have 3 sets of minutes to approve.
I would move to approve those 3 sets.
I would second that. And any discussion? There were a couple small grammatical errors, Paula, but I made them on there. So,
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have no road encroachments, and we did receive emails from Rocco Hausman, who's the new union rep, that they have voted to approve all 3 contracts. So if I could get a motion on that,
I would move to ratify that.
Excuse me.
I would second that.
Did you want to do each one separately?
Uh,
There are 3 different bargaining agreements.
Okay, we can do each one separately. So we have the union contract for the courthouse.
I would move to approve that one.
I would move to second that. Okay, the courthouse agreed to the dollar raise, and that was the only change in that contract. So any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Then we had the sheriff's office Teamsters group, and they approved our offer on that. We did make the change. We gave a $1 raise and $1 cost of living adjustment and a $2 raise for the dispatchers. I want to be careful how I
Yeah.
word that.
Is it a $1 raise and $2 cost of living? Because they,
No, I think it was a $1.
They got a $2 increase for their positions, and then they got the dollar county employee raise. I don't know what the $2 would be called.
I
The
think
increase in
yeah,
salaries.
well,
Yeah.
we'll call it a $1 raise and a $2 cost of living increase.
Yes.
And that keeps the raise.
Yep, the raises,
consistent.
yep, that's how it was
And that
worded.
cost of living increase was specifically given because the wages for the dispatchers were well below other areas.
Yep, the area average, and that brought them up to the center. It didn't bring them to the top. It just got them off the bottom, and we have had a hard time keeping
Yes.
people in that position, so we felt that that was warranted in that case. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And then we had the road contract, and they had some verbiage changes that didn't amount to much, and then they did accept the $1 an hour raise.
I would move to approve that one.
I will second it. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to planning fee schedule. We got a letter from Staley Engineering, and who we just contracted with this spring, and they're raising a few of their fees, and through our earlier discussions, we agreed that it was supposed to be a pass-through and that the people benefiting from the subdivision should be paying that. So now we have to raise our fee schedule, and the final plat or plan went up $50. It was $250, now it's $300. And the examining for the land survey documents went up to $325.
What was the previous adjustment?
I think it went up 52.
275.
Yeah. Oh no, it was 250.
Okay, and it went to.
And it went up to $300 plus $25 for shipping if they have a wet signature. So Paula was gracious enough to write me a resolution 22-31 that reflects this. And did she send you a copy, Mel?
I've got one right here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I need a
I would move to approve resolution
22-31.
2231.
I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Do those new fees go into effect today then, Joe?
Yep,
Okay.
effective August 18th. Okay, that brings us to, I am going to declare the budget hearing open for 2 weeks. And we will accept comment in any of the normal email, phone calls, in person. We're glad to get any comment. And the preliminary budget is ready for review. So that will be open for 2 weeks.
Do you guys have any comments, Paula, on the preliminary budget? Is it?
I have not had any yet.
No, haven't had any.
But do you personally have
Oh,
anything to
coming
tell-
from us.
Tell people about this budget?
I do have some comments.
Okay.
You know, it's been in the public because of our union meetings that our budget is extremely tight, and I worked with Paula and the other commissioners, and it is tight, but we're gonna get everything covered. Our main concern is fuel for the departments that use a lot of fuel, which is ambulance and road and sheriffs, but our department heads gave very conservative budgets. I had a department head voluntarily cut a line item by $25,000, which has never happened to me before in 18 years. So I really appreciate that our department heads are being conservative. It makes my job easier. And that's my only comment on the budget.
Yeah, I don't have it. I think that thanks to everybody's, Paula and Joe especially, that putting this all together. But everything seems to fit, and I think we'll make it work.
Yep, we'll get through another year.
What did your mill value do?
It was up just a little. A few $100, $200.
It's 21,693. I could do the calculator. And it last year was,
I can look. Want me to grab it?
Because last year, if I'm remembering correctly, and maybe I'm not, but did our mill value not slip down a little bit last year? Was that 2 years ago now?
no, that was last year.
That was
So
last
the
year.
mill value slipped.
It was
down.
20,998, or no,
Yes.
20,997,
Okay.
998
And the
last
mill
year.
value went down, but we were allowed to tax more mills.
Yes.
Yes, and this year, the mill value went up just a little bit. And our mills, we had $128,000 of increased spending, approximately, Melody. I've gotta make some, minor adjustments after the department head meetings that the commissioners held last week. But I have the auditor right now, so I'll try to get those done this weekend and get corrected preliminary budgets out.
Okay. And, again, the state, and I ran into this question when I was writing about the union contracts. The state allows you to raise, is it your taxes or your spending authority by half of the percentage rate? Which I could,
So we plug in, it's a worksheet.
yeah,
And so it's your spending authority.
okay, it is
On
spending.
the
authority.
front page.
Yeah,
on
spending authority.
Yeah.
On the permissives, yeah.
1510,420.
Yeah. But when you are granted additional spending authority, that allows you to nudge those mills up just a
Yep.
scotch to
It
fill-
reflects it, so
Right, yeah.
they both
And
have
the
them.
number that we're working at is at 0.6, 0.7, 0.87?
For the increase,
Yeah.
No, it was, I'll be right back. I have them right at my fingertips in here.
And looking at while she's looking at the preliminary budget, are there any major purchases or renovations, building maintenance envisioned in that? I mean, the airport's got its pilot's lounge done.
yep,
Um,
there is none.
Okay. Do we have road graders coming up in this year? I mean, in
Yes.
the new fiscal year? Okay,
Yep, we had 4 that came up last year, and there'll be additional 4 this year.
okay, 4 more road graders.
And we only replaced the 4 with 3 new road graders last year,
Okay,
which enabled us to keep the payments about the same.
yeah,
So Melody, the
Yes.
rate of inflation adjustment was 1.77%.
okay. And you can do
But-
half of that.
That
Or-
was half.
That is half, okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. All right, and Joe just said there weren't any big purchases coming up. Photocopy machines, new phone systems, new computer systems, nothing like that.
No, nothing, just
Courthouse
the,
windows,
Sheriff's,
We haven't done anything with that
but it's budgeted.
yet. Yeah.
His new telecommunications or what? The 320.
the CAD system over the sheriff's office is becoming obsolete. So that
what's
is,
that stand for?
I was afraid you were gonna ask me, that is his
Computer assisted
communication.
drafting is what it is in
It
high
used to
school,
be,
but it's
yeah.
not.
It's
yeah.
his communication system. It enables the dispatchers to do what they need to do. It's the computer system and the radio system intertwined in a conglomerate of electronic
And
stuff.
that needs to be updated at a cost of approximately.
And the way we handled that is he's actively pursuing a Homeland Security grant.
Okay,
So we just budgeted, it was 300 and, was it 326?
I think we have 325 in the budget.
Yeah. So we budgeted that to get it into the budget, but if we don't get it, we're gonna have to go to Plan B, which we don't have.
so we've got $325,000 budgeted, and the sheriff is pursuing a Homeland Security grant
Yeah.
to be that $325,000.
Right.
Okay,
And that was the only main thing. Thank you, Paula, for remembering that. No big computer.
I
and
don't
what
think so.
did you guys' health insurance do to you this year? Was it a pretty,
It went up like $40 per person. We were able to absorb that in the budgets.
and remind me, you guys pay 100% of the individual employees'
Basic insurance.
basic
Yeah.
insurance.
Mhm.
If they want anything above that, they have the option to get better coverage, but they have to take it out of their paycheck.
Yeah.
And they have the option for vision and dental as well, but that's at their expense.
And if they wanna put their families on, that's at their
Yep,
expense.
yep,
Mhm.
yep.
Okay. And you guys, who is your insurance company?
The health insurance?
Yeah.
Mako Healthcare Trust. Which has proven to be a good move because we do have input on
Yep,
what they do as far as increased costs.
yep. Okay.
We've been with them for over 10 years, I believe. We were with Blue Cross before that.
Yep. Okay, all right, so a pretty static budget. All things
We're treading water.
And you expect to adopt at the which meeting?
September 8th.
8th.
Okay.
Whenever the first Thursday after the first Tuesday of
September
September.
is, okay, gotcha. Great, I don't have any more questions, thanks
No,
guys.
no further discussion. I don't have anything to report for commission reports, do you, Sam?
I don't.
So public comment? No public comment, so,
Burning ban's still in effect?
Yep.
yes, but it does allow campfires in the designated areas that have fire rings. So he is, and at our LEPC meeting yesterday, Mike Muno said that the forest is basically the same.
Have they
They're
gone?
still allowing campfires, and they haven't gone to stage 1 restrictions.
restrictions, okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
hopefully I repeated that correctly.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other public comment? Our next meeting will be September 1st. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah. Well, it was longer than 5 minutes, Joe, but we'll forgive you.
Oh man, I went over by 12 minutes.
Sorry, that's because we